everybody, this is Nikki, and I haven't posted for a while, but today I'm working on Michigan Stadium, and we're about a week into the coronavirus in the US, so I'm sure a lot of people are sitting at home, and I thought it would be a good time to make a new video. And I've actually gotten a lot more subscribers than I kind of thought that I would. So I'm going to try and be better about uploading new videos. But as you can see, I'm mixing paint. And today I'm working on Michigan Stadium. So that's this guy I've got in front of me. And this is sort of my setup. So the photography that you see on my computer screen, I actually take myself. And I kind of... any scene that I'm working on, I like to work from photography, first of all. So I kind of photograph the scene a bunch of times, like I'll travel to whatever I'm painting, and then I kind of lay it all out on the computer before I get started, and that's kind of how I do, like, I guess my sketching. So right now, I'm working on these columns, so I still need to do like the detail in there. But as you can see, like some of the other ones that I've done, like the brick with the writing on the cement part, I guess. So I have my last one that I'm working on over here, and I'm just gonna kind of walk you guys through my process for painting these. So as you can see, on this side over here, brick I actually experimented on. Like, I had brick in a different painting that I was doing, so I've learned a couple of techniques through trial and error. So when I first started out, I kind of just like started the bricks in a pattern, like so basically you can kind of faintly see the lines that I've drawn out there, but I'll draw in the column. Obviously this whole thing is drawn to perspective, so that's a really big part of it. Anytime you're doing any architecture, the perspective is a really big part. So my lines are measured in here, but the key that I've found to bricks is that I actually start on the center line when I'm painting the bricks, and I'll just alternate. Like, I started at the bottom and I did one full brick and then a half of a brick and then a full brick and then a half of a brick and then a full brick and a half of a brick. And it's important that you follow that pattern, otherwise you're going to end up with like kind of random sizes. And that's what I did on one of my other paintings, and it didn't come out bad, but it's not, I kind of noticed that this is how bricks are actually laid. It's not just random. So anyways, that's kind of my tip if you're ever painting a brick pattern. And the other key, I guess, like for these columns that I'm doing, is you can kind of see that on one side here, all of these colors are a lot lighter, and then on this other side, all of these colors are darker. So for this side that I'm doing right now, I actually just tone down the colors and I make them slightly darker than the other side that I did, and that's gonna give you like this like illusion of light. So like when I go and fill in the empty space, like in here with the tan, I'll do it with a lighter tan on this side with the light colors, and then a darker tan on this side, and it's gonna give us the illusion of light. So I'm just painting away today. Obviously we have coronavirus going on, and it's terrible and terrifying, and I think people are probably staying inside and working as they can from home, but probably doing some hobbies and crafts and stuff too. So maybe someone will give watercolor a go when they don't normally, and you can watch my videos and see how I work. And then I also have some videos that have some like shorter projects too, because I have like a greeting card line. So like I did like a birthday cupcake and a leaf and some flowers, so you can check those out too, and maybe try and paint something smaller. But for today, I have to finish this big scene of Michigan Stadium, so that's what I'm doing. And as I paint these bricks, so you can kind of see there's still like I was talking about the half brick, the full brick, the half brick, full brick. Can you start to see the pattern? So as I'm painting these other bricks, I'll go all the way to the middle of this brick right here. And I just keep it really, I guess, kind of geometric, and I make sure I follow the pattern. And I think that's how they're actually laid anyways, so it'll look nice and real when I'm done. Well, kind of. Oh, and then the other thing is that I always mix up the color, so I'll never just paint a brick and then use that exact same color for the next brick. I always change it up just a little bit. So that's why I'm adding a little blue and a little brown, and then I'm gonna go back in for my next brick, and it's gonna be a different color than the one that I just did. And that'll kind of also make it look more realistic, because obviously bricks are kind of all different colors. So I'm constantly mixing my colors when I'm doing this. And then it really comes alive when I add the tan, the filler, I guess, in between the bricks. That's when you really see it kind of come to life. So again, I'm just going to go to the center of the brick below it. And then I'm going to do a full brick right here. And I paint kind of light, I keep my water kind of thin. There's so many different ways to paint with watercolor. Some people put water on the paper, that's kind of what you're taught in school. That's what I was taught in school. But I actually, I paint pretty controlled with watercolor, kind of tight. I don't keep too much water on my brush. I keep it kind of dry. And I'll even, dab it on a paper towel if I have too much water or something. That's why I keep a paper towel right next to my paints and my cup. And I just kind of, nice and easy, paint a brick. And your lines aren't, my lines aren't straight here. It's not perfect, but I'm not going for absolute perfection, Just try and get the general shape done. And that's sort of my style of painting, everyone kind of has their own style once you start. Even if you're not a professional artist, you're still gonna have your own style, which is kind of cool. I leave a little gap there, button it up. So this one's this brick that I just did is kind of more purple, but that's okay. I can always go over it or pick up a little paint or something if it's it's pretty dark, but I actually kind of like that. You can see there's some other dark ones down here, and it gives it a nice variety. So I just use different oranges and reds and kind of mix up the colors. If you want to make the brick a little bit lighter, just use less paint, a little more water. So we'll go with the half guy right here. And this is how I have been painting this entire picture. So now that you get sort of the gist of how I do the bricks, I'll kind of show you the rest of the painting that I've done so far. But it's pretty much just the same process. And it goes for me really slow. I just work on sections at a time, but it's pretty cool when it comes together. I like to paint really detailed, but then I'll have days where I step back and just kind of look at the work I've done, and eventually the space really starts to build. It's pretty cool. It's my favorite thing about painting. So that's the next brick. So what I was talking about, I was going to show you the rest of the painting that I've done. So I actually started out with the people. And these are the people I've got so far. I still have to put in their shadows, and then I'll kind of like really make it come to life. But these are the people I've got so far. So, yeah, with this painting, I started with the people, and then I moved into the columns. And actually with watercolor, I have kind of like a process that I use, and basically I paint front to back, meaning, so like with this picture, I painted the people because they're closest to me in the picture, and then everything from there, like I'm gonna paint back and back and back. So like the people first, I'm gonna do these like fences next, and then the columns and the lights, and like I'll paint everything that's in front first, and then all of this stuff last. So like I actually have a tree behind this column that I'm gonna do, and same with this one, and then I'll do that building behind it. I'm actually gonna do these gates before I do any of that. And the reason I do that with watercolor is because obviously you can't paint over watercolor. Something with like oil or acrylic, you can just wait for the paint to dry and paint over it. But with watercolor, you can't do that. I have a squirrel. I'm painting from home. I like the wildlife here. But anyways, so with the watercolor, I always paint front to back, and actually when I do my oil paintings, I paint back to front. So like if this were an oil painting, I would paint the sky and then this building and then the fences and the trees and then the columns and then the people. So I don't know if other people do that or if it's just something that I do, but I found that that works for me. I can see the picture clearly when I do that, and it'll give me room for mistakes or anything. Like, I don't know, it just helps me plan. But anyways, this is the painting I've got going. Obviously, the groundwork has been pretty intensive, but yeah, things are going pretty well. I'm pretty excited about this painting. So hopefully you guys have learned something here, and I'll see you guys next time. So good luck everyone with the virus. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.